When will we learn to take responsibility for our lives? When will we learn that no one and no thing outside of us controls how we see the world? When will we learn that we are 100% responsible for our lives? When will we learn that we are 100% responsible for the world we see and how we react to the world we see? In our ego-based existence, we become trapped in a thought system that informs us what is happening outside of us, influences how we feel and react. This thought system frames our existence. We are easily persuaded that our existence, our well-being, is entirely dependent on what is happening around us, outside of us. This thought system sees us reacting to everyone and everything as if we have absolutely no control over our lives, how we see the world, how we react to the world we see, and what role we play in the world we see. Like with most everything in the ego-based world, it is almost completely opposite to truth and reality. Take, for example, how we see the world. In the ego-based existence, we think we see with our eyes. This is a commonly accepted truth about our world, yet science and spiritual teachings inform us differently. We see with our minds. First comes a or the thought, a thought about a person, place, event, thing, or whatever it is we think. This thought is projected outward, and our eyes, being the receptors of our outward projections, perceive the cues from our projected outward reality and bring it back inside for our brains to process. But the convoluted process begins with a thought, our thought. Who made this thought? Who created this thought? Where did it come from? Did you need permission to have this thought? If so, from whom? Every thought we have comes from us, no one else. No one and no thing outside of us gives us our thoughts. We are the source, creators, projectors, and receptors of our thoughts. There is a Zen saying, quote, "If you do not get it from yourself, where will you go for it?" End quote. If we are not the source, creators, projectors, and receptors of our thoughts, then who or what is? It certainly is not someone or something outside of us. When we begin to take responsibility for our thoughts, our lives, we initiate a process whereby we can cultivate peace. Swami Sivananda shares, quote, "A desire arises in the mind. It is satisfied. Immediately another comes. In the interval which separates two desires, a perfect calm reigns in the mind. It is at this moment, free from all thought, love, or hate, complete peace equally reigns." End quote. For as long as we think what is outside of us controls how we see the world, our opportunity for peace is jeopardized. So what do we do with these seemingly external events and experiences in our lives? We simply observe them. Nothing more, nothing less, no judgments, no expectations, simply observe. Su Yun says it best, quote, "The best way is just to observe the noise of the world. The answer to your questions, ask your own heart." End quote. Our mind is an amazing instrument, powerful beyond most people's comprehension. But our mind can get us into all sorts of trouble. Quieting our mind not only facilitates inner peace, but it makes it possible for us to see our world more peacefully. When Dogo was asked about the mind's extraordinary powers, he responded, quote, "If you want to see at once. When you begin to think, you've missed the point." End quote. When you begin to take responsibility for your life, you have begun to understand you are responsible for what you see. When you begin to understand you are responsible for what you see, you begin to understand you can create the world you want to live in. And when you begin to create the world you want to live in, your life and everyone's life around you is transformed.